Hi there, and welcome to today's Saturday drill class. Before we get started with the drills we're going to do today, I wanted to talk a little bit about our YouTube channel, which we've got over 400 subscribers right now, many of whom have been subscribers for many years and probably aren't watching it right now. But one of the things we found out is that if we get over 1,000 subscribers, we get access to some tools that we don't have right now. So we're going to be doing a little prize giveaway soon. And I'm going to say right up front, there's going to be a lot of details to still follow, but I did want to mention it now. It's quite likely that by the time this video gets posted on YouTube, the details will be available and we'll post them in the comments with it. But what we're going to be giving away is a training spear. I really like this kind of spearhead. We got these from Nyman Fencing, although they didn't make them. They had an exclusive right to distribute them for a little while, and I'm not sure if they're actually being made anymore. But to me, this is the best training spearhead that was ever made for what we do. And we have one that is a lovely blue still in the packaging, and we will give that and a haft of this type for the spear to someone based on YouTube subscriptions being increased. We still need to figure out exactly how that's going to work and how we'll do the giveaway and whether we'll be able to ship this to distant places and stuff, but it will definitely be a thing that's available. So pay attention in the comments below for this one, probably. Those of you seeing this live, then watch for more details forthcoming. All right, I'm going to put this away. And today we're going to be working on techniques related to going through with the pommel. And a lot of those involve stuff to do with the thumb grip. So we're going to start with some thumb grip transition exercises. So I'm going to come closer here. And the first thing that we're going to look at is our flip, a thumb grip flip. So this is where I'm going to use the heel of my hand to push the handle down and flip up so that I'm making a good T with my cross guard. And we're going to do 10 of those with our right hand. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, and just for balance, we're going to do 10 with our left hand here. So the same thing, I'm going to push down with the heel of my hand and flip into the thumb grip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, one thing I didn't say, and I hope you can see when I'm doing this, I'm really keeping the action as much just in my hand as possible. I don't want to be wrenching my elbow if I don't need to. Now, we are going to be working mostly on longsword stuff today. And with the longsword, we do have our left hand to help us, or our lower hand to help us. So we are going to do 10 of these with both hands on the sword. So I'm going to shove the pommel to help me with that transition. And we'll do 10 of those as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, excellent. So the other thing that goes along with this, one of the reasons we're using the thumb grip is so that we can get those nice flat circular kind of sword actions like this. So we're going to do the windshield wiper Krumpau type action. So I'm holding the sword in the thumb grip. I'm going to turn hopefully so that you can see it. I'm going to tuck my elbow to my side and I'm going to rotate my wrist down to the side, back up and down like that. And again, we're going to do 10 of those. So down, up, down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, and we'll do 10 on the left-hand side. I should mention as well that this is also one of the exercises that helps with injury reduction by strengthening the tendons in our wrist, I'm thinking. Matthew will correct me. He says yes. All right. So elbow to the side, and I'm going to lower my sword down to one side, back up, down, 1. And of course, this is in the thumb grip still. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, good. Now, everything that we're going to be doing today, we're going to be working with passing steps. So we're going to practice some of our passing step footwork, and we're going to do that in isolation. So you can have your sword in your hand or not for this. And I'm going to start over here, and I'm starting with my left foot forward. That's how I normally start as a right-handed person. And I'm facing mostly forward. My lead foot is pointed a little bit actually out to my left or straight forward. And if I have my sword, I do want to move my sword across my body before anything else. And then I'm going to rotate the feet like so. And I'm not going to focus too much on the details. We've seen this in previous videos. I'm now just going to take a step forward. And now bringing my sword across the other side, I'm going to rotate like that, take a step forward. Bring my sword across the other side, rotate on the balls of my feet. 3, 4, 5. And we're going to turn around and face the other way and go back the other way. So sword across, rotate, step. All right, good. So it is important that we follow the order of operations when we're doing that kind of stepping. We always want our sword to lead, and then our body, and then our feet to follow. All right, so when we are talking about things like going through with the pommel, this usually follows from a sequence. So we're going to build the sequence up in little bits, and we're going to start with just doing our strike off the shoulder in our drill format. So I'm going to stand left foot forward in the tower guard like so. And when I do my strike, I'm not going to be moving anything but my arms. So don't do this fast and hard because it puts strain on your joints when you stop. So I'm driving my sword forward in a straight line to almost point at my imaginary opponent's face. And reset to the tower, sword forward. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so now we're going to put the hip rotation into that and the rotation on the balls of the feet. And we're going to do the exact same thing, except for there's going to be a little bit of a turn with that, which will bring our point a little bit further online. So looking at you square on, what we were just doing, I bring my sword forward to here, and now I'm going to do that rotation, which brings my sword a little bit more on. All right, so starting from our tower guard, sword, rotate. And again, we want to do this quite slowly. Sword, rotate. We don't want to strain our joints. Sword, rotate. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, and so next we're going to incorporate the step into this. So again, we're going to start from our tower guard. I'm going to bring my sword forward, rotate on the balls of my feet, rotate my hips, and then I'm just going to take my passing step forward, and my arms will stay stable. All right, so sword, rotate, step, and then we'll reset, sword, rotate, step, reset, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so the final step of the Zornhauer is to shoot the point long. So we're going to add that in. And so at the end of our strike and step, we're going to shoot into long point, or shoot the point long. So I'm bringing my sword forward, rotating my hips and balls of my feet, stepping forward, and now I'm turning into the thumb grip and extending straight out like this. And my cross guard is straight up and down, and my point is usually at this point pointed at my imaginary opponent's right shoulder. So I'm going to do this straight on, sword forward, rotate, step, and shoot like so. All right, so again, we'll do 10 of those. Sword, rotate, step, shoot. Reset. Sword, rotate, step, shoot. Reset. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. Okay, so I'm being told we're having more audio trouble, so I am going to switch to the computer mic.
So after that short break, accidental break, we're going to talk about the later parts of this, which are the going through with the pommel, and we're going to look at some of the details that happen with this. So rather than just adding this onto where we were before, we're going to kind of start from nowhere. So if I'm here and I've shot my point long and somebody pushes against my point to drive it away, I want to go through with my pommel. And I want to make sure that I'm being covered by my sword. So as my point is being pushed, I'm going to bring my pommel high. And my idea here is that I'm removing any threat that might, I'm not just letting my sword fall where I'm open here, I'm letting my tip fall, but my guard come up. So I'm moving my sword first, but it's my pommel this time that I'm moving, and then I'm going to rotate on the balls of my feet and step. So we're going to start just with those components kind of together. So starting from long point, I'm going to push my pommel forward, rotate on the balls of my feet, and step. All right? And I think I will do that from facing this way. So starting in long point, pommel, balls of the feet, step. Reset, pommel, balls of the feet, step. Three. 4. 5. 6. 7. Kind of blended the balls of the feet on that one. 8. 9. 10. Now, of course, if we're close in a fight and someone pushes our point and we come through with our pommel, we can always hit them with our pommel. We can move into wrestling if we're at that range, but quite often our range is not there. So the next step is we're going to drive the pommel down to snap the sword over. So we're going to do that in isolation. So I'm starting left foot forward with my sword like this. And this is arguably high shrink foot, for those who care, one of our guards. But from here, I'm just going to snap that pommel down, and I want to finish with my hands low in a good boar guard, flug or aber, depending. So starting from here, snap, reset, snap. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, I'm going to tie in some footwork that doesn't always happen. It's a little bit optional, but it's a useful thing to add, which is going to be a triangle step. And the goal of the triangle step is to change our alignment with our opponent and possibly free up our blade a little bit better, that kind of thing. So again, starting from left foot forward, my left foot is pointed forward and slightly to my left, my right foot is pointed out to my right. I'm going to snap over, and at the end of that, with my back foot, I'm going to step away from my sword behind me. So the step on its own is like this. All right? So from our high shrink foot, snap over, step back. Reset. From high shrink foot, snap and step. I haven't been counting. Let's call that 6. 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so we've now put in the elements of strike from the shoulder, shoot long, go through with the pommel, snap over. We're going to string that together into a one long string. And I'm going to say up front that it will be hard for me to do this repetitively, keeping it really broken down, so my steps may flow together a little bit. The most important thing is the sequencing is right. So when I'm doing a strike, it's okay if I've started the foot rotation as my sword is coming forward and I'm stepping in at the end rather than breaking down. In fact, that's better. It's just really important that I am not starting this before I've brought my sword forward. All right? So it can flow, it just has to be the right sequence. All right, so starting from here, starting in the tower, frontal at the shoulder, I'm going to bring my sword forward, rotate on the balls of my feet, step, shoot long, pommel forward, rotate on the balls of my feet, step, snap, triangle step. All right, that's our sequence. So from the shoulder, sword, balls of the feet, step, shoot, pommel, balls of the feet, step, snap, triangle. All right. Shoot, pommel, balls of the feet, step, snap, triangle. 3. Sword, balls of the feet, step, shoot, pommel, balls of the feet, step, snap, triangle. That's 4. sword, balls of the feet, step, shoot, pommel, balls of the feet, step, snap, triangle. And one more. Sword, balls of the feet, step, shoot, pommel, balls of the feet, step, snap, triangle. All right, so that is our main sequence from the shoulder of going through, provoking a strong response at the bind, going through, snapping over to the other side. Now, there's a couple of variations on that I want to look at, and we're going to mostly focus on the end part first. I've still got a few minutes left. We had a break in the middle, so I might go a little bit extra here. So the first thing is, what if, let's say I'm operating from starting position on my offside, and I come forward with a thrust, and now they're pushing my point this way. So I'm going to do this facing on, so my sword's come across here. I still want to go through. Now my pommel is leading, and I'm doing that same snap over, but now I'm using the short edge, the reverse edge, to do the cutting with. It's also a bigger leverage that I get by pulling that pommel, but I also end up with my hands uncrossed, which means I have longer reach, but less control over the landing. All right, so we're going to start from right flute, so hands crossed flute, like so. We're going to go through with the pommel, rotate on the balls of our feet, step, snap. All right? And I think this is the right side for me to do this from. So, right flute, point goes down, pommel goes forward, balls of the feet, step, snap. All right? Right flute. So, pommel, rotate, step, snap. All right? And again, pommel, rotate, step, snap. And pommel, look. Bled through the rotating on the balls of feet there. All right, 5 more. Pommel, rotate, step, snap. 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 I want to do one more good one here. So, pommel, rotate, step, snap. All right, so that's going through with the pommel on the other side. Now the other variation that I want to look at, and I had said earlier that I might do some stuff with Grossmesser. I think I will pass on that for today. But we have a variation on the going through with the pommel that we see explicitly in Codex Wallerstein, but it is in our other sources as well, which is that we snap into half sword. So I'm going to start out just standing left foot forward like this, and instead of driving my pommel down here to snap over, I'm going to push the pommel, rotate my sword, and then bring my left hand onto the blade. And I'll come a little bit closer so you can see what's happening. So I'm driving that down, and then I'm switching to a half swording grip. And I'm not going to go into the tactical reasons why that's sometimes a better choice, but it is. All right? So starting from our sword of shrinkfoot, we're going to do that 10 times. So push the pommel down into half swording. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, and then just as the last thing that we're going to do, we're going to start as though we've shot our point long. We're going forward with the pommel, rotating on the balls of our feet, stepping, and snapping into half sword. And again, I think that's better if I go from this side. So, long point, pommel forward, rotate, step, snap into half sword. All right, reset. Pommel forward, rotate, step, snap into half sword. 2. Pommel, rotate, step, snap into half sword. 3. Pommel, rotate, step, snap into half sword. 4. Pommel, rotate, step, snap into half sword. 5. Pommel, rotate, step, snap into half sword. Pommel, rotate, step, snap into half sword. 3 more. Pommel, rotate, step, snap into half sword. 2 more. Pommel, rotate, step, snap into half sword. Last one, best one. Pommel, rotate, step, snap into half sword. All right, so these snapping actions are really useful. They're really super fast. Remember that when you're working with a partner who you don't actually want to injure. But they are also, the other advantage of them being fast is that I go from here where I'm covered, as I'm snapping, I'm suddenly threatened, and then coming back here into my bore guard, or my half-swording bore guard, I've covered my line again. So I pass through the time period where I'm exposed very quickly, which is super important. All right, last thing that we're going to do is 3 runs of the Einzelstück. So I will face this way. Unfortunately, without the microphone, I don't think I can do it facing away, which is sometimes the more helpful way. But we're going to start from the tower guard, and we're going to start with our Zornhau that we've already done, but I'm going to wind into Ox. And then I'm going to step back with the Schielhau, which is straight down on my right side, Spreckfenster, Quarter or Zwerchhau, second quarter, back with the parter, back to high front top. Wechselhau, Abschneiden, Krumpauer or Waker, shoot the point long with the triangle set, and here's our good friend, go through with the pommel, snapping, recover back to guard. All right, so 2 more of that. Step forth, wide high, shielder back, quarter forward, parter back, high on top. Wechselhau, Abschneiden, crump, crump, go through, snapping, recover. And our last run of the Einzelstück, I'll do it going this way this time. From the tower, set forth, high winding, shielder back, quarter forward, parter back, high Frontag, Wechselhau, Abschneiden, Waker, shoot long, go through, snapping, recover. Thank you all for coming to the class. I'm going to stop the recording.